What's up, guys? And no, I don't have the Rona. I'm coughing because it's freaking cold out while we run. My lungs are like, hey, what is this thing you're doing to me? Like, I'm used to being indoors where it's nice and warm. I did like the workout today. What was it for me? Meta and descending intervals was a good one. Good stuff. How did everybody else like theirs today? I know a lot of you are on day one.
I love the total body strength.
So good.
Yeah,
You're going to be sore tomorrow.
Yeah. And the fat blasting ladders.
Yes. Yes. They were so fun. I think day one was probably one of my favorite days of weirdly day one, and then the leg day followed with the run. Those were my two favorite days from week one.
Mm-hmm.
Kara's like not surprised that I liked leg day. Look at her. She's like grinning over there.
Doing the
one of those things.
Are you running 3 days a week?
You run 3 days a week, yeah.
Okay. I saw there was another calendar where you could do it's like 5 days, I think.
Fuck that noise.
Yeah. Like,
no, thank you. I will tell you that, what day was it? So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday was like technically like a rest day. Thursday, I did throw on just like, I did a little bit of 10 rounds. I did a little rolling and stretching. Like I didn't do full out. I just did a little bit of stuff just to get a sweat going because I just wanted it. And then Saturday was also supposed to be a day off, and I did Dirty 30 2.0 because I just wanted to get something in, and I wasn't feeling sore, so I felt like I could do it. So I say listen to your body, but like for me, I think the running itself, like I rather prefer to just keep that like 3 days a week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
If it was like adding in more weights, I would be like, oh yeah, let's add in more weight days, but that's not what it is. So
that's just less days that I have to like get my kids to a place where I can run.
Right.
So I'm like 3 days this time.
Yeah. And for me out here, it's been like crazy because like there's like a lot of hills. So I'm like I don't really have like flat surfaces that I can be running. And that like adds a whole new, element to it as well. Unless I want to just like keep turning around and going back and forth. So, which I don't want to do that. But today was fun. Descending intervals where you did like each block had 3 intervals and you would go faster speed for shorter times, but like have rest times in between. So that was fun. All right, where is everybody? Who we got on here? We got Shannon in the dark, Jess in the dark, Ashley with no face. I'd go give your people a kick. Tell them get their asses on here. I feel like I already did that earlier. Let's see here. I'm just gonna go did we drop the password in? Yeah, people are asking for that. Hold on. TPF 2020.
Shaylee's coming. She's reading her kids' bedtime story. She said she might be late, but she'll be here.
Okay. So guys, kind of going with like the flow of like, maybe I'll record this one. Oh, it is already recording already. Didn't even have to. I forgot that now it's like recording automatically now instead of me having to like press it. I haven't recorded the last couple calls. We've just been going and like we get going and then I'm like, oh, we didn't press it, and that's fine with me. Because I kind of feel like, at this point, like everybody's their own CEO. If they want to jump on the call, they can jump on the call. If they don't want to, they don't have to. But for me, I know that, you know what, Shannon, I actually loved your story today on IG because you started talking about if you want to go somewhere you haven't been, find a coach who's got what you want and then start following their lead and doing what they did, right? And Tony Robbins talks about that all the time. Like if you want to go somewhere, find someone else who's done it already and then follow their lead because it's going to get you there that much faster. And I'll just tell you that the coaches on this team that are the leaders of this team that are making the most money, that have been around the most times, have been on team calls every single week for 6 6, 7 years without fail. Never thinking, oh, like I'm too busy, or oh, I'll catch the replay, or oh, this isn't important, because you get nuggets and stuff during these calls and it just reinvigorates you each week to do your stuff, right? Like it's that little blip of motivation, of connection, of vision, of learning that you can get every single week for yourself. And so if you're not like telling your people and your coaches how important it is to get on, they're not going to get on. If you're not showing up yourself, they're also not going to get on. And so I think it's so important to set that example for them by doing it and being like, hey, I'm jumping on the call again. Hey, I made it a priority, even though I had this, that, and the other thing going on. And when you start doing those things, other people start seeing those things and running with you. Couple announcements. I wanted to talk about the fact that yes, it's launch month. I'm nodding so hard right now. Yeah, but we can't see it, so it's fine. I like that you typed it. So it's launch month. Yes, right? You guys are sitting on the ability to crush your business right now. And I don't want you to get in your head of, oh, well, I started last week, so I should stop inviting to this. Or, oh, everybody started today, so I should stop inviting to this. In fact, what I'm going to do with the team group that we have is I'm going to go back to all the posts that I put up last week, and I'm going to number them day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, day 6, day 7, right? So that anybody who's jumping in there new this week, we can just tell them, hey, this is day 8. If it's your day 1, go to the day 1 post, right? And so then they always have a place to go. And so you guys can be inviting to the group still today saying, hey, my next wave of ladies start on whatever next Monday's date is. I don't know the date off the top, not 19th. I don't know what the date is. That you say, that's the date that I'm starting my next wave of ladies. Like, I know you didn't get in for the last round, or you didn't get in for last Monday. You still have a chance. The group is going. It's more about the energy, you guys, than it is being on the same page. A challenge group is not, hey, you have to be doing the same exact program I am and being on the same day I am. And if you run your business like that, you will drive yourself fucking crazy, because it's impossible. It's impossible to do that. But instead, if you're like, hey, my next wave of girls are starting on this date, and everybody plans it that way and everybody is doing that way, you're always going to have a new blood in there, which number 1 adds more energy, which number 2, then they see the other people posting and they're excited because they're seeing where they're about to go. You get to paint the vision for them already, because you're like, I'm a weekend and I've lost this much weight. I'm a weekend and I'm feeling like this. I'm a weekend and these are my results so far. And then those people see it and they show up more, because they're like, oh my God, in a week I could feel like that. In a week I could do that. In a week I could run faster. In a week I could be showing my abs. In a week I could whatever. So you're building motivation and you're adding new energy at all times when you're doing that in your challenge groups. It does not have to be on the same day. So stop thinking that way and continue to invite. Continue to invite. And every Monday is a new freaking start date for your group. Every Monday. So go back and follow up with all those people who haven't pulled the trigger yet and say to them, hey, next wave of ladies starts on Monday. There's time. Jump in. Like, seriously, this group is killing it. The energy is insane. I freaking love the program. You're going to love it too. Like, join me. Just jump in there and say that. I've also been sending really short messages to people, guys. Like, I know I invited you in the past, but this one's so different. You're going to jump in with me? And then it immediately makes them start asking a question, right? I didn't really give them any information about what I'm doing in that, but they just know that I'm inviting them to something and it's so different. Like, that's why I'm inviting them. So they're like, well, what are you doing? And I'm like, here, try the sample. They try the sample. I'm like, get in this group. It's so good. I'm being very bossy with my people that I talk to, because that's what people need. They need us to be the coach. They need us to be the motivator. They need us to be the one who breaks the barriers, breaks through their bullshit, breaks through their fears, and tells them, hey, this is how you get results. Come join me. This is what you need. And again, Shannon, again, your story today was so good. Like, stop being like that person who's afraid to ask for help, right? Like, if you can incorporate that too into your, like, the way you're talking to people, and just realizing that, health and fitness is the number one thing that people make excuses about in their life. They don't have time. They don't have money. They don't know how. They don't, like, whatever. Like, they do. They just need you to shove them a little bit, right? They just need you to shove them a little bit. So that's number 1. So announcement, it is still launch month. You still can do this. You can still use this to your advantage. Okay. Now, if you look back at May was not a launch month for us, you guys. But look what everybody did, because the month before that was a launch month. We were all using 10 rounds, right? So everybody was getting good results. Everybody was showing up. Everybody was posting. Everybody was inviting. And so everybody had that momentum going for them, because they were taking action and showing up. And so if you do this now, yes, this month will be great, but next month will be great. And if you continue to do it, The next month will be great. It's not about having a launch, but yes, this is exciting right now. And so you can use that to your advantage, but it is about showing up every single day. This is a personal growth business with a paycheck attached to it. The more you grow, the more you attract other people to you. The more you grow, the more people notice what you're doing is working. The more you grow, the more insight you have, the more you've been through, the more comfort zones you've broken through, so you can help somebody else go and do the same, and the better coach and leader that you become. So if you are not reading a book, which right now we're all reading 12-week year, and if you haven't gotten yours yet, you should get it, because by tomorrow you're supposed to be putting your plan together, and I want everybody to be sharing their visions with their coach, with the team, putting it out there, posting it in the team page and sharing it, because it's a big deal. Not only do I want you to create it, I want you to share it. So that's number one. Number two is, great, now you've read it and you're implementing your plan, but what else are you putting in your brain during that time that's going to help you push forward, that's going to help motivate you? And I don't care what somebody else is reading, and I don't care if it's the most. Here's the 3 mistakes that I see, and I was talking about this with Christina Battaglia the other day, and she had Julie Voris on her call, and she was talking about this, and we were all like, this is so true. Here are the mistakes that I see everybody making with their personal development. First of all, if I ask you what your personal development is and you tell me that it's the slight edge or the compound effect, and you've been in this business for like more than a year, like, you need to move on. Right? Like, if somebody just tells you for the last like 6 years they're reading the same freaking book, like, it's time to move on. Okay. Number two, if you're just reading the book that's the most popular out there right now that every other coach is reading because it's the most popular thing and you don't want to miss out on, but it's doing jack shit for you, I give you 100% permission to drop that book and move on to something else. Because personal development is personal development. And if it's not feeding you, your brain, your soul, your motivation, you need to get rid of it. It's not doing anything for you. And number three is being one of those people who, yep, I read the book for 15 minutes. I jotted down a quote. I threw it up there, but it goes one in one ear and out the other. And you didn't implement jack shit from it, because you're not actually taking it all in and really using it. I want you to go find the book that speaks to you and that talks to the area that you need to change. And that's what I want you to focus on for the next however. And then I want you to set a goal, right? So maybe it's like, I want to read a new PD book every 2 weeks, or it's, I want to read a new PD book every 2 weeks, but you know what? I got a lot out of that one, and I think I could do even more with that one. So I'm going to read that one again for the next 2 weeks, and I'm really going to dig deep and implement those things. Books are meant to be used to help you take action, and to use them like a textbook, not to just sit there and read it and be like, that was great, and then move on. It's to grow your brain so that you can grow your business. It's to grow your brain so that you can change your emotions and what you're creating in your business. Now, when we think about this, I love that sentence in 12-week year when it says, act on your commitments, not your feelings. And so many people are acting on their feelings. But if we're acting on our feelings and not our commitments, we are never going to get to where we want to go. I can tell you, there's many a time where I'm like, I'm going to get up at 5 a.m. and work. And the only freaking reason I do is because I told Meg I will. That's the only reason, because I know she's sitting here in the dark on the freaking Zoom going, where the F is she? So I have to get out of bed and do it, right? Because it's a commitment to her. And a lot of the times we have to make a commitment to somebody else because we won't stick to the commitments that we make for ourselves, right? We sit there and we're like, well, I want to go run at 5 a.m. so that I can get all of this done, so that I can start my day, and then I can get to work, and I can take care of my kids, and I can spend quality time, and I can do this and I can do that and this and the other thing. But then at 5 a.m. when the alarm goes off, you're still tired, you're in your warm bed, and you don't want to get out of those cozy covers and go run outside, right? Because it doesn't feel good, but you made that commitment. So every time you see yourself, check yourself before you wreck yourself. Every single time you see yourself going, I feel like I want to do this, say, no, what's going to make me really freaking uncomfortable right now? I'm going to choose that instead. I'm going to choose that instead. I'm going to stick to the commitment that I made to myself, just like I would stick to Meg, right? Like, I'm not going to tell her I would show up and not show up. I would never invite, one of you to come to lunch with me and then not show up to lunch because I don't feel like it, right? Like, you go because you made that commitment. Same thing when you make a commitment to yourself, to your business, and to where you want to go. Maybe it's that you don't have that vision drawn out, which is part of the 12-week year, which you're all supposed to be doing. And maybe you missed that little video that I shared last week that was so small but so significant with what's his nuts from Celebrity Family Feud. Ryan, what's his name? Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey. If you didn't watch that video, go watch that video. But like, if you didn't watch that, he said, you're not getting things because you're not asking for things, and you're not doing the things, and you haven't set up a vision for yourself. So set up a vision for yourself. He said, write down 300 things that you want for your life. And he goes, and I guarantee you around 75, you start going, huh, and it becomes hard, and you start listening to things and you can't think of things. Think harder, go deeper, figure out what you want for your life. And then you're going to be shocked when you go a few years down the road and you look at that list of 300 things and how many of them have come true because you looked at it every single day and you thought about it every single day. And then because you were looking at it and thinking about it, it changed your brain waves and you started taking action to make those things happen. So do those things, okay? Like then I would think to yourself too, your why, right? Like what is that why? The why is partly vision, right? But like what if you set a goal for yourself right now that you were like, okay, Christmas is coming up in the next few months. I want to buy this for this person. I want to buy this for this person. I want to provide this person with like this experience. I want to do this for this person. And then you really sat there and you thought about how that was going to feel. And then you said, and I'm not paying for a single cent of it with anything but Beachbody money. With anything but Beachbody money. Set that freaking goal for yourself and then make it happen. Maybe it's that you want to go premiere. Meg got a freaking premiere trophy in the mail today and she's not premiere yet. And she was like, is this a sign that this should be my year-end goal? We were like, fuck yes, it is. Go for it. Go do that. Like, go do it. Make a goal too, you guys, that's a little scary for yourself. Make a goal that seems like it's going to make you push because that will make you push. And then using the 12-week year, I want you to go back through and I want to go, okay, well, that means I need to sign this many people and have them do this and this and this and this. And that means that I have to talk to this many people in order for that to happen, which means I need to do X, Y, and Z every single day. And then you commit to yourself and you do it whether you feel like it or not every single day for 12 weeks, just 12 weeks. And then we can take a week and we can celebrate and we can jump on Zooms and we can drink and we can have a party and we can do whatever you want because we're going to celebrate the crap out of that. Also, guys, other announcement that we didn't make yet, and I can't believe we didn't make it yet. If you did not qualify for the leadership retreat, we have decided to push the leadership retreat off to February because of COVID. So we also decided to extend the time that you can actually achieve it. So I'll go ahead and I'll throw those rules up again, maybe probably tomorrow, so that you guys can all see them, recognize them, put that on your freaking list, right? What are the things that are going to excite you to achieve by the end of the year? And if you did it, you would be like, holy shit, holy shit. There's so many times in this business where I feel like everybody gets to this point where they're like, oh, things are going really well. And then they go, and they stop doing the things that got them there. They stopped doing the things that got them to that point where they were feeling really good and they were making Success Club with ease and they were signing new people and those new people were wanting to coach with them and they're like, holy shit, this is all working and they're making good money. And then they just stop. And it's because we have this internal thermometer, right? We have this internal thermometer that tells us like, this is status quo and this is where I feel good. And when it goes above it, we're like, oh, better lower it. And when we go lower than that, we better make it higher again, right? And that's where we stay. So change the freaking temperature, guys. Change what you feel comfortable with. And the biggest way that you do that is making yourself feel uncomfortable every single day with the amount of action that you take. In the beginning of this business, I did it even when I didn't want to. And I'm telling you, that's why I grew so fast. And I am telling you that I grew fast and that motivated me to push and do more because then it allowed me to open up my time quicker instead of this juggling act of like, oh, almost there. Nope, way far away. Almost there. Nope, way far away. I just pushed and pushed and pushed. What if you just took the next 6 months of your life and you said, every day, this is my schedule. I am putting in 3 hours towards my business every single day without fail, no matter what. Priority number one, where would you be in 6 months to a year? Would you be quitting your job? Would you be paying off all of your debt? Would you be traveling more? Would you be able to start sending your kid to private school? Would you be able to give somebody that is in need in your family something that they need? Like, what is it that motivates you? And start thinking about that and start thinking like, this is what I get to do. I don't have to do any of this. I get to do this. This opportunity was given to me and I said yes because I want this. Remind yourself of that. Every time you sit there and go, oh, I have to reach out to people right now. No, you don't. You have a choice. You can sit there in status quo and just live the rest of your life in debt doing the same freaking thing that you do every single day that you do right now. That's a choice. You know, even when you're at work, that's a choice. You can choose to do the work and, stay at your job, or you can choose to not do it and get fired, or you can choose to do more and, get promoted. You have a choice in every single thing that you do. Something told you to say yes to this. right? And so you're here and you're in this and you're on this call and you clearly want more, but something else in here is telling you that you can't do it or it's not for you or you're not as good as so and so. And it's total bullshit. And when those feelings start coming in, that's where you make a bigger commitment to what you want. You start reminding yourself of what your vision is. You start taking the action that you need to take daily and you start feeding your brain. You feed your brain with good things that it needs, with books that it needs, not just what so and so is reading. What Erica's reading may not work for Kaylin. What Shannon's reading may not work for Meg. It doesn't matter. You work on something that works for you. And the last thing that I want to leave you with is this. You guys, if you look back at your most successful month in this coaching business, your most successful month, and I don't care if it's like you're a brand new coach and you're like, my most successful month was I made, 2 points or I made 4 points. How did that feel? How did that feel during your most successful month when you were able to sign people, when you were able to help people, when you were able to bring in a paycheck, when you just felt like, wow, this is so fun? Like it felt fun. I can guarantee you it felt fun, right? Like when you're succeeding, it feels fun. We are humans. We want forward momentum all the time. It's human nature. Like we want to grow. We want to move forward. We want to achieve more. That's why most people are like, oh, I achieved that next. I achieved that next. And we should stop for like a hot second and celebrate. But most people are like, yep, check. Now the next thing. Now the next thing. And that's great. But you have to celebrate it. And then you have to realize like, it's the journey too, right? Like that's it, the whole thing is the journey. And this business should remind you of that. You're constantly growing your brain. You're constantly helping your body. You're constantly helping other people every single day. And it's a journey and enjoy that journey. So if you've lost the joy somehow in that, figure out why. What were you doing before that made this so it was easier, that you were succeeding, that you were putting numbers on the board, that you were helping other people? What did those conversations look like? What did you do during that time? Were you reading something different? Were you working out differently? Were you feeding your body the right things instead of saying, it's Tuesday, I'll drink again? What were you doing then? Right? Like figure that out and then repeat. Because if you look back and you see that, you can go, well, that was Shaylee and I'm Shaylee, so I can do this, right? Well, that was Shannon that did that back then. Shannon attracted those amazing coaches and started creating massive volume in her business and started doing that. So that's me. Like I'm Shannon, so I can do that, right? Like Meg, you quit your job. You went 3-star. You went premier. Like you've helped a ton of people. You held diamond. You know what I mean? You hold bonuses. Like that's something that you remind yourself of. You go, yeah, I can do this because Meg did that. So even if you're forgetting for like a hot second where you are or whether you believe you deserve this, Kara, you had SE12. Like that is freaking huge. You had SE12, one of the very first months that you were coaching, right? Like you need to start looking back and thinking about that and going, that was still me. And today I might not feel like I'm that girl that's successful. And I may feel like I've got like a case of like, what is it called? The yips, right? Isn't that like a baseball term where you get the yips, right? Like, oh my God, I don't even know how to play fucking baseball anymore, right? Like, and you're like, ah. And sometimes I feel like we get like this in this business. I don't know how to coach. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't even know how to talk to people or how to post or what to do for my workout or whatever. Guys, that's when you need to stop and realize you have wins. And if you've helped one person, you can help many. And that's it. Shaylee, you don't have the yips. You crushed last month in the midst of planning a freaking wedding and helping your sister and doing all of the things, taking care of your kids, being a mom. You're fucking crushing it. So don't sell yourself short. You know how to coach and you know what you're doing. You're a badass. Like you guys need to realize that about yourselves and then go, I felt really good at this point and I was doing these things. I'm going to go back to the basics. I'm going to go back to doing those things. I'm going to forgive myself for these thoughts. I'm going to go back to doing the things that I was doing. And then I'm going to understand that by doing so, I am going to help somebody else, right? When you let your own light shine, you empower others to do the same. And you guys, there are people out there that need you. They don't need Joan. They need you. You were specifically put here with a certain set of gifts and goals and a personality and likes and dislikes that other people look at and are like, oh, she's my person. And I love, 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 love that statement that Gabby always says, when the teacher is ready, the students appear. When the coach is ready, you guys, your clients will appear. So when you start showing up for yourself and you start sharing that genuinely every single day, you will be shocked at how quickly people start to message you and say, I'm ready. And it's all about working on yourself first. That's it. Set a plan, set a vision, set a plan, set the steps to get there, and just start taking the action. And you're not even gonna believe the weight that's lifted off you, because internally, you're not sitting on your ass doing nothing, like achieving status quo and watching your life slip by. You are actually living the life that you're capable of because you're working towards what you truly want. And that will change the way you talk to people. It'll change the way you post. And it's going to change the way that you show up for yourself and how you feel when you're working your business, because it's no longer a have to, it's I want to, because holy shit, I'm getting here. Okay. So that's what I have for you guys tonight. I think that was all. I just jotted down a couple notes. I think I talked about most of those things. Anybody have questions or things that they want to share? We have 3 minutes. Type in the chat. Tell me one vision you have. Everybody, type in the chat. Tell me a vision that you have for your life that you want. Also, tell me something that you're going to do that you were doing when you felt really successful in this business. Tell me what you're going to do. Rachel, I love that. You're going to pay off your mortgage by 2022. I dig it. What do you need to do to get that? Donating 10K to a shelter. I dig it, Kara. By when? Yes, financially have the choice to go part-time and you're teaching, Erica. Shaylee, out of debt, not worried about paying bills. Yes, your life becomes so much better when you're out of debt. Literally, like, I have 0 debt right now, and I'm like, oh my God. Like, I still find myself getting like a little stressed about things at times. And I'm like, why are you stressed out? You have like, you can afford that, or you can do that, or like you can whatever. And it's so weird, like that mindset. Work when I want to, not because I have to. Yes, Shannon. Ashley, buy a car with cash. I love that. Yes. Shannon, buy your mom a car. Jackie, get a car. Emma, paying off credit cards, car, and mortgage. Yes. Jess, getting rid of credit card debt. Yes. Jess, I know on yours too, you want your trip to Mexico paid for. Meg, spoil my team and family. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Kaylin, allow my mom to work part-time and spend more time with the boys. Courtney, totally debt-free by 21. Yes. You guys. Sit there tonight, jot them all down, make the lists, see how many things you can add. Can you get to number 300? Like, can you get to number 300? And then I want you to take pictures of them and share them with us. Take pictures of them and share with us. Yeah, take family in Disney cruise for December 2021 Christmas gift. That's awesome, Courtney. Yeah, I mean, I have it on mine that I want to take my nephews and my sister and her husband on a Disney cruise. I have it on mine that I want to take my entire family to Hawaii for Christmas one year and just like put us all up at like a nice house, right? I have it that I want to travel to Bora Bora, that I want to go to the Greek Isles, that I want to spend time in Italy with like some of our favorite couples, that I want to go to Paris. Like the list goes on and on and on. I want to buy Ryan an R8 Audi. I want to, like there's so many things. I know exactly what my house looks like in California that I have. I know exactly what my house looks like over on Falmouth Waterside that we're going to build. I know exactly who will be there sitting at the fireplace with me celebrating the holidays while I hire a chef to take care of things. I know that I want to fly first class on like United Emirates and drink in the bar area and lay in one of those flat freaking pods and go somewhere fucking awesome. Like I know those things and I can see them light me up and bring me joy. And the more I read them, I'm like, yes, I love that. I love that. I love that. Think about it. What brings you that much joy? I know I've mentioned it in here before. Like I want to secretly pay for people's like heating oil over like the winter. There's so many main families that like can't afford their own freaking oil to heat their homes, right? I want to secretly like pay somebody's like hospital bill that can't pay it. Like I want to do things like that. I want to fucking like live. Like I don't want to sit there and just wonder what life could have been like. I don't want to sit there and go, oh, I could have experienced so much more. I should have done so much more. A year from now, are you going to sit there and, wish that you had watched more Netflix, or are you going to wish that you had worked your business? I can't wait to see all of the visions that you guys have. Yes, pain of discipline versus the pain of regret. Exactly. Yeah, you guys, we all work from a place of inspiration or a place of like desperation. And, and at times, I feel like when the desperateness goes away, it gets like comfy, and then you sit in this place for a while where you have to find what the inspiration is, or give yourself a scenario of down the road what your life looks like if you continue living the way you do now, and maybe that creates that desperate feeling for you again, so that you continue towards it. It's playing with your mind, you guys, and it's doing the things to get the things, and that's it. And when you break this business down, and I'm going to just leave you with this: when you break this business down, it is very, very, very simple. You drink your shake, you do your workout, you read a book, you invite people. That's it. Those four things are what can completely change your life and turn you into a 7-figure a year earner. And you're making excuses in your mind as to why you can't do it. It's a map, it's a proven map. There's people who have gone before us who have done it that show it's possible. Every time you see a new 5-star, every time you see a new superstar, every time you see somebody going elite, every time you see somebody rank advancing, instead of looking at them and going like, oh, like I'm just not good enough, I can't believe they can do it, you should be looking at that like the universe is sending you a sign that if they can, you can. They're a reflection of the light that is within you. It's a reminder. I can too. I can too. So do your vision tonight, you guys. Let's all crush the last 12 weeks of this year. Let's remind each other and this team what we're made of and what we can all do. Ask for freaking help if you're feeling it, you guys. If you are feeling low, if you are letting the blocks come in, ask for help. This is not an I thing. This is a we thing. When this whole team moves up, everybody moves up. Okay? Nobody left behind. I love you guys all. Happy Monday. Go crush your goals.